welcome. Thank you for joining. I am Latoya Henry, and I'm so excited to bring you a series of conversations called How's She Do It? I'm bringing you some amazing people who share how they get, keep, and preserve their joy. So often we see the end product, we see beauty, we see success, and we may learn about their business growth, but not necessarily about their personal side. Today, I have the twirling brunch queen herself, Michelle Sprott, aka the Brunchnista.
Hey,
Mich-
girl.
hey, and I'm gonna brag on you a little bit. I'm gonna brag on you a little bit.
Hey.
Michelle is a Brooklyn bred beauty who's passionate about young women and education. She empowers and advocates for change in young people's lives by dedicating her time and talents to organizations like Teach for America, Everybody Wins, the Fresh Air Fund, and Usher's New Look. But she's best known for all things beauty, fashion, and most importantly, brunch. She was dubbed the Brunchnista by her besties because of her never-ending quest for the best in brunch. To Michelle, brunch is more than a meal, it's a behavior and a lifestyle. And when she's not brunching or being of service, she's quenching her thirst for traveling around the world to places like Thailand and Greece and Bali and South Africa. Warm welcome to Michelle Sprott, aka Brunchnista.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, friend. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey, I want to start, Michelle, by just saying thank you for just your encouragement and just being a positive light. Even just me opening up my Instagram app and scrolling through and seeing you twirling around the world, I just really appreciate you and what you do and just how you pour in and encourage others. So thank you.
Of course. I mean, if we can't share your light with other people, then what's the point, right? So,
Indeed. No, speaking of sharing your light, so tell everyone who may not be familiar with Brunchnista, although they probably are, what is Brunchnista and why did you get it started?
I'm still formulating that, but for the most part, Brunchnista is a lifestyle brand and it focuses on enhancing your brunch life. And when I say brunch life, I mean your everyday, because we want every day to feel like it's a Sunday, like a forever Sunday type concept. So taking those elements of, the best parts of your weekend and infusing them into your everyday, whether that be with cocktails, whether that be with a great outfit, whether that be with food. We just want you to find the joy that sometimes we reserve for after work or like on the weekend. I want you to incorporate that into your everyday. And so that's really what Brunchnista is about.
And what are some of the things that your followers have said to you about what you do for them or what you give to them through this platform?
It's just like a reminder, right? Like, because I feel, and I always say this, I feel like social and personal things are the first thing to take the back burner when we're chasing our dreams, when we're going after our goals, when we're trying to get to, whatever destination we're trying to get to professionally. The first thing we'll do is say, oh girl, I can't hang out because, I got to stay late at work or I got to finish this project. But what I've found is that that's what fuels us, right? That conversation that you have with your girlfriend, that little, joke or kiki that you're able to get in is like, it kind of bursts a new sense of energy into you. And that is kind of what we need to like keep going. Or at least I know I do. And I know there are many other women out there that, can relate to that. And I want to remind us to not isolate ourselves, but to really lean into that and really, use our surroundings and our friends and our, the things that bring us joy to fuel us, not to like wait until we get to the destination to enjoy it.
And you know what? And as you said that, you hosted a Galentines Day brunch in your home for a few friends. And when I tell you, the Rona, we
Right.
ain't gonna talk about how
Right.
she stay interrupting people's
Right.
twirl, okay? But that Galentine's Day was one of the last events, if you will, right? Because figure the Rona hit around March. Well, we shut stuff down around March, right?
And that was in February.
But when I tell you, you are the hostess with the mostest. Everything from the backdrop, the rose wall, to the place settings, to the cocktails, everything was just so beautifully done. The color scheme, the agenda, because you had a whole itinerary for us. But it felt organic. It felt very natural. Like, for us to be able to use your Kiki curators to get conversations started, and we cackled and laughed and enjoyed, and girl, we had such a good time, and we were able to just, you got dressed up and you were girly and pretty, and we got to connect with each other. And so that was just such a powerful experience, and it's like a pick me up. It helps you stay up, or it's a pick me up when you need it. So
Absolutely.
So it just brought your Instagram page to life.
A lot of people say, well, how do you do it or whatever? And honestly, it really is authentically who I am. I just love doing that stuff. And I don't know, like, it's just so encouraging and helpful to me. I'm a girl's girl, like, right? So that is like my thing. Like, I love the pink, I love the frilly, I love the kiki, I love the dressing up, I love the, it's just, and I know I'm not the only one that feels like that. I know that there are other women out there that feel the same way, but they neglect that part. We tend to neglect it. It may be, like I said, a career, it may be kids, it may be marriage. So many things go on in our life, and I think we just need that reminder. And that's kind of what Brunchnista is that reminder that these things are still fun and enjoyable, and they enhance your life. They don't take away from it.
And the power of your community, the power of just getting together with a girlfriend to connect and to talk and to chat. Yes. So how has that changed with, we mentioned the Rona, but how has that changed with Corona and everything that's come along with it?
I think well, at the beginning, you could definitely see how important those relationships were. Because if you scrolled anyone's social media page, everyone was crying out like, Lord, I can't wait to see my girlfriends. I'm going to every brunch. You can invite me everywhere. I'm going. Everyone had that same sentiment, like, oh, Lord, like, what have I been doing? And so I'm like, in a lot of other industries, people were like, oh, man, Rona. But I think for my brand, I'm like, yes, this is what I was trying to get everybody to understand, that these things are important. And I think the coronavirus and the pandemic showed us that, yes, this is important. And we saw like 6 weeks in the house with no girlfriends, no drinking. Everybody was going crazy. We were trying to find ways to connect with each other virtually, even though we hadn't done that before. Everybody just wanted to connect in some way, somehow, some fashion. And so I thought that was so good, because I was so nervous prior to the pandemic that, everybody was like virtual, like, yeah, oh, I saw you on social media, so you're fine. Or I text you, and so you're fine. Or, oh, I had a conversation with you, you're fine. But, the pandemic showed us that ain't
we are not okay.
Not okay. And so I'm so thankful. I know that's a different way to look at the pandemic for me, but I'm so thankful that reminded us how important our communities were, and that kind of reshifted everyone's focus. I don't know how long we'll keep it up, but everybody seems to be a little bit more intentional about their social circles and like their lives with their community.
And we've kind of been forced to whittle down, right? Because whereas we might have been going to a party or a soiree or going to a something, now you're a lot more selective. You're really pulling in the people who are closest to you for that engagement and that connection. But anywho, so I've seen you do a few different things, right? I've seen you do, and actually just speaking of like bringing it closer and bringing it into something more intimate, I've seen you do like the 50 brunch dates. Tell me a little bit about that and kind of why you decided to do that and what that did for you and your brunch dates.
Like again, I was saying, like I wanted to remind people that it was important to have that girl time. I love crowds, but I also like one-on-ones as well. And so it's really important for me to sit on the other, in front of my friend and really look into their eyes and be like, girl, are you okay? How are you? And so that's why I feel a little bit more comfortable doing the one-on-one or two and me, two girlfriends and myself. So I've started that initiative because I wanted to still connect with people. And so at the top of the year, I said that I was going to brunch with 50 people. But again, the coronavirus has put a little glitch in that. But I think I've still been able to do quite a bit. Especially this summer, I was able to meet with several of my friends over, the summer and have brunch with them and stuff. And a lot of people weren't comfortable yet going out. And so that was fine. We did virtual. But yeah, like, I just think it's important to connect for my spirit. And usually when I, drag someone out, they're like, you know what? Thank you so much. I really needed this.
Yeah. When you and I went out, girl, can I tell you, I have never been so happy to put on a daggone frilly dress and throw some hair on and some lashes. I was like, oh, I'm just going to do a little something. Then it turned into a full beat and a whole outfit. But I was just I hadn't been out. That was one of my first excursions since all of this started. And so, I'm definitely one of those people who were like, yes, this was the complete pick me up that I needed.